Alrighty, this is We the People News. Okay? People. People. Just think outside the box. Okay? Never look just straight forward. Always look around you, be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. So, I may start trying a little things different. Made it a little easier for me nowadays. So this is by Sovereignliving. Okay? Alrighty, this is going to be, oh, sorry, about no probable cause, false arrest, which happens quite often. Let's dig into this. Oh, I lied to you. By the way, this right here is me. Which one are you?
There's four types of people you'll meet in your life. There's the people who try to wake up the slaves. There's the people who are the slave masters. There's the people who have no idea they're slaves. And there's the people who like being slaves. Which one are you? Do you really know for sure? Are you who you think you are? If you can see through the illusion, then you are the solution. Once you can see through the illusion, you will never be the same. If the people don't know their basic rights and freedoms, how can they know when or if their rights and freedoms are being infringed? Ain't that the truth? Never forget, the men who started this country were marijuana-growing, whiskey-drinking, tax-evading rebels who left their beds at night to shoot at the cops. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. Government is not reason, it is not eloquence, it is force. Like fire, it is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. Don't forget to like this video. On YouTube, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so that you're notified that there's a new upload. And on Steemit, don't forget to vote and make your comments. This is the front page of my channel. The subscribe button is already clicked because otherwise it would be red. The bell has not been clicked. The arrow's pointing at the bell because it would look like it's vibrating, which means that you'll be notified of uploads. First of all, when the police stop you, they cannot stop you unless they have probable cause that a crime has been committed or is about to be committed. Speeding is not a crime. So the question is, officer, what's your probable cause for stopping me? Or should I just be on my way? Now, the test for probable cause is for the police officer's sufficient basis for probable cause. Did the officer have a suspicious basis to make a practical, common sense? Whoa, what happened there? Did the officer have a sufficient basis to make a practical, common sense decision that a fair probability of crime existed? Once the officer's actions failed to satisfy this test, it may appear that no reasonably objective officer could have believed that probable cause existed to make an arrest. And that is the Ninth Circuit, Allen versus City of Portland. And so that's the question. What constitutes probable cause? The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, citing cases from the U.S. Supreme Court, the 5th, 7th, 8th, and 9th Circuits held that by definition, probable cause to arrest can only exist in relation to criminal conduct. Civil disputes cannot give rise to probable cause. So there's the question, isn't it? Is there a crime? And that's where you need to get to know your local state statutes and such things as to what the definition of a crime is. Article 1, Section 9, searches and seizures, the Texas Constitution. And you need to check your local constitution. I'll bet you it's very similar. The people shall be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and possessions from all unreasonable seizures and searches, and no.
We're going to pause there. Possessions. Is that car your possession? And how can it be towed?
Warrant to search any place or to seize any person or thing shall issue without describing them as near as may be, nor without probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. Okay, so
Again, can the car be a thing? Right? Person, place, or thing.
again, there has to be an affidavit of a crime, or the cop has to witness a crime. Okay, so what's a crime? The Fourth Amendment, Article 4, an amendment prohibits law enforcement officers from arresting citizens without probable cause. So, again, it's an illegal seizure, is what it is, and with no probable cause. And then, again, the Texas Constitution does the same thing. Article 1, Section 9. Arrest made without probable cause violates the Fourth Amendment, and holding involuntary civil confinement is a massive curtailment of liberty and tantamount to the infringement of being arrested, and can be made only upon probable cause. Only upon probable cause of a crime. This is
Now, that being said, Terry versus Ohio is violating the Fourth Amendment.
An offense under this section is a Class C misdemeanor if the offense for which the actor's appearance is required is punishable by fine only. Okay, so a Class C misdemeanor in Texas is punishable by fine only. That's speeding tickets, going through a red light, going through a stop sign, traffic violations, simple traffic violations. Things like dangerous driving, if they want to charge you with something like that, I think that is not a Class C misdemeanor. It can get worse. So, but simple speeding tickets and those kinds of things are all Class C misdemeanors. An individual judged guilty of a Class C misdemeanor shall be punished by fine only, not to exceed $500. That's Texas Penal Code. A crime means a misdemeanor punishable by confinement or a felony. Okay, that's it. Nothing else answers the definition of a crime. A crime is only a misdemeanor punishable by jail or a felony. And a defendant means a person accused of a crime. So when they go and assault you with their ticket, and then you have to show up at their kangaroo court and they call you a defendant, okay? Well, gee, that's telling me that this case is prejudged. They're saying that you committed a crime, and there's no crime. So then it becomes down to official oppression, okay? And I'm not even sure if I have that in here, quite frankly. But under Texas, it's called official oppression, and that's a felony. If the owner of a motor vehicle fails to timely pay the amount of the civil penalty imposed against the owner, an arrest warrant may not be issued for the owner. The imposition of the civil penalty may not be recorded in the owner's driving record. They cannot report it to your insurance company. And that's Texas Transportation Code. They may not issue a warrant. Now, I gotta tell you that a friend of mine, catman1@gmail.com, he has done most of this research that I'm talking about here. Not all of it, but most of it. And so, if you're in Texas, I highly encourage you to get his material. It will help you immensely. He has used it. Matter of fact, that's why his email address is catman1, because he won. And he drives around Texas with his own homemade license plate, and Yes, they harass him once in a while. He's actually a pretty nice guy, so he doesn't break it off in their butt like I try and do. And like I just filed a lawsuit against a city here, a couple cities actually, and we're going to talk about that more here. But yes, I did. It was about, with the attachments, was about 250 pages. Anyways, here's a kangaroo court. Look at that, a kangaroo court. Judge works for the state, a prosecutor works for the state, the police or witness works for the state. The vast majority of the disputes that the police initiate on behalf of their employer are also adjudicated by their employer, where the plaintiff, the judge, the antagonist, the police, and the only witness, also the pigs, all represent the same party, and since no corpus delicti, mens rea, or acts reus can be produced, doesn't technically qualify to be heard according to its own laws. The state, therefore, is indistinguishable from a criminal cartel. You got it. Oh, look at there. That's another kangaroo court. So what it is, if there's no crime and they stopped you, so again, if they stop me for speeding, that's going to be what's going to come out of my mouth. They're going to say, can I see your driver's license, registration, insurance? And I'm going to say, well, I don't have a problem producing whatever you want here, but, I got a question here. You got to have probable cause to stop me. And so the question I have is, what's your probable cause to be stopping me? What's the crime? And he's going to say, well, I got you speeding. And I'm going to say, well, speeding is a Class C misdemeanor in Texas, and a Class C misdemeanor is not a crime. And so I ask you again, what's your probable cause for stopping me, or should I just be on my way? That's where it's going to go. And I'm going to be researching other states as I travel to them. But so where you need to do is, if you want to protect yourself from this, then that's what you need to do, is do some research in your own state and find out what the definition of a crime is. And because this probable cause stuff is federal, it's all over the place. Everything's under martial law. Anyways, and although probable cause may not be inferred from malice, malice may be inferred from lack of probable cause. And so it's a malicious prosecution. So you go into their kangaroo court, and that's the first words out of your mouth. So we're doing a malicious prosecution here, aren't we? And I'll bet you they'll kick your butt out of there so fast your head will spin. Conviction of a Class C misdemeanor does not impose any legal disability or disadvantage. An offense under this section is a Class C misdemeanor if the offense for which the actor's appearance is required is punishable by fine only. And so again, that's under bail jumping and failure to appear. If it's a Class C misdemeanor, it's punishable by fine only. A public servant. Oh, this is official oppression. I do have it in here.
See, in Texas, this is the one. It's very important because everything they do in here in Texas, this right here, and it's Texas Penal Code 39.03. All right, every officer should be charged that. Well, it's a kangaroo court if they're all in conflict about one another, right? And right, prosecutor is a different administrative than it is from the judge. Judge is a different administrative. The cops is a different administrative. So that's conflict of interest because it's different administrative actions combined into one particular case, and it's all against you.
I went and did this video a week ago, and I've been trying to get it uploaded, but it fails all the time, and the sound was lousy. So I've been working on the sound, and I think I got it fixed now, but so I forgot what all was in here. Anyways, a public servant acting under color of his office or employment commits an offense if he intentionally subjects another to mistreatment, arrest, detention, search, seizure, dispossession, assessment, or lien that he knows is unlawful, intentionally denies or impedes another in the exercise or enjoyment of any right, privilege, power, or immunity knowing his conduct is unlawful, or for the purposes of this section, a public servant acts under color of his office or employment if he acts or purports to act in an official capacity or takes advantage of such actual or purported capacity. In other words, if they're military police in uniform, they're supposed to be in their official capacity.
So this is probably what I would do. All right, just these few lines that he's written, write it down on a piece of paper, put it on a notice of liability, and you write all these things down. Then you hand it to the officers, the police station. You're going to hand it to the magistrate, judges, okay, and your prosecutor, okay. Now you're giving everybody this right here, which is a notice of liability, and if they keep proceeding forward on you, then you file a criminal complaint right here, the 39.103. All right, and it's got jail time and all that kind of stuff, a year in jail and all this. Okay, so there we go. Now, under the 1874 Act of the Civil Rights Act, okay, they don't have a qualified immunity if it's in common law. They do have it due to the judges lying to everybody and credited a doctrine giving officers unlawfully qualified immunity. But even with that, they don't have it when you put them in the common law jurisdiction.
That's official.
And I haven't done it, but allegedly, if you want to ignore the Monell case, you go after the officers, sue them, and what they'll do is the city or the county will jump in and volunteer themselves. Well, that still gets you to ignore the Monell case because you didn't sue the city and you did not sue the county. That's asking permission to sue the officers. You sue the officers in their official capacity, period. Not the county, not the city. Okay? And that bypasses the Monell case. And they got strict rules through the Monell case to follow through with that. It's just less paperwork to do a lawsuit. Probably not going to get a whole lot from the officer, but it gets him to stand on his toes, and he's not going to be sun gun ho to come after you.
Oppression. That's why you say, well, that's not a crime, and so do you have some probable cause to be stopping me, or should I be on my way? Or are we doing some official oppression here today? This is a fake.
All right, this is going to be part 2 because this is really important. This is Weak People News. Bye, y'all.